I've been crocheting for years now, and I've made every mistake you can think of. I've ripped out rows I spent hours on, I've bought yarn that was completely wrong for the project, I've followed patterns that made no sense and left me more confused than when I started. So this list isn't just a random collection of cute ideas. It's built from actual trial and error, from projects that either made me want to throw my hook across the room or projects that made me fall even more in love with this hobby. So here's the problem most beginners run into. They see a gorgeous sweater online or an amazing amigurumi doll with tiny little details and they think, that's it, that's what I'm making first. And then 20 minutes in, they're stuck, frustrated, and ready to quit. Crochet isn't hard, but it is a skill, and skills need to be built step by step. If you skip steps, you don't just risk a bad project, you risk losing your motivation completely. And that's the real danger here. Not a wonky stitch, not uneven edges. The real danger is quitting before you even get good. So let's fix that. Let's talk about the projects that will actually take you somewhere, starting simple and building up to something truly amazing by the end of this video. The first project on this list, and I know this is going to sound boring, but hear me out, is a simple coaster. Yes, a coaster, the little thing you put your cup on so it doesn't leave a ring on your table. I know it doesn't sound exciting, but this is where you learn the two most important stitches in all of crochet, single crochet and double crochet. A coaster is small, so if you mess up, you're not losing hours of work. You're losing maybe 10 minutes. And because it's round, you also learn how to work in the round, which is something you'll need for so many future projects, like hats, bowls, and even stuffed animals. Once you can make a flat, even circle that doesn't curl up like a taco, you've already passed a test that a lot of beginners fail. Once you've got a few coasters under your belt, the next step up is a simple dishcloth or washcloth. This is basically a bigger, square version of what you just did, but now you're working in rows instead of circles. This teaches you how to keep your edges straight, which sounds simple, but is actually one of the hardest things for beginners to get right. If your edges are wobbly, this is the project that will fix that, because you'll notice it immediately if one side is getting wider or narrower than the other. Now, here's where it starts getting fun. The next project is a beanie, a simple hat. This is where a lot of people get really excited, because now you're making something you can actually wear out of the house. A beanie takes what you learned from the coaster, working in the round, and combines it with a new skill, increasing and decreasing stitches to shape the hat properly. If your hat comes out looking like a pointy wizard hat instead of a nice round beanie, don't worry, that happened to me too. It just means you need to work on your decreases a little more evenly. But once you get it right, there's something incredibly satisfying about wearing a hat you made with your own two hands. After the hat, I want you to try a simple scarf. Now, a scarf might sound easier than a hat, but it actually teaches you something different: patience and consistency. A scarf is long, which means you're repeating the same stitch pattern over and over for a while. This is where you learn to keep your tension even throughout an entire project, not just for a few rows. If your scarf starts wide and ends up narrow, that means your tension changed as you went, which is super common and totally fixable with practice. A scarf is also a great project because you can experiment with different stitch patterns here, like shells, ripples, or basic textured stitches, without worrying about shaping like you did with the hat.
Now we're moving into what I like to call the fun zone. This next project is a granny square. If you've never heard of a granny square, it's basically a small square made in the round using a specific pattern of stitches, and it's one of the most iconic things in all of crochet. The reason this project is so important is because it opens up an entire world of possibilities. You can make one granny square and turn it into a coaster, or you can make 100 of them and sew them together into a giant blanket. Once you learn how to make a granny square, you're not just learning a pattern, you're learning a building block that can turn into almost anything. Speaking of blankets, that brings us to the next project, and this is where a lot of people either fall completely in love with crochet or decide it's too much work. A full-sized blanket. Now, a blanket is basically just a really big square or rectangle. It doesn't require any new skills you haven't already learned, but what it does require is commitment. This is the project that teaches you patience on a whole new level. You're going to be working on this for weeks, maybe even months, depending on how often you crochet. But let me tell you, there is nothing, and I mean nothing, quite like wrapping yourself up in a blanket you made yourself while watching a movie on a cold night. It hits different, it really does. Now let's talk about something completely different, amigurumi. If you don't know what that word means, it's basically the art of making small, stuffed crochet toys, usually animals or characters. This is where crochet becomes less about practical items and more about pure creativity and fun. Amigurumi is a bit trickier because you're working in smaller stitches, usually with smaller hooks, and you have to sew different pieces together at the end, like arms, legs, and ears. But once you finish your first little amigurumi creature, whether it's a bear, a bunny, or some weird little blob monster you made up yourself, you're gonna want to make 10 more. It's addictive in the best way. Now, here's where things get really exciting, because I want to talk about the project that I consider the true climax of this entire list, the one project that combines almost everything you've learned so far into one incredible piece, a full garment, like a sweater, a cardigan, or a crochet top. This is the big one. This is the project that separates people who dabble in crochet from people who truly master it. A garment requires you to understand shaping, gauge, which is basically making sure your stitches are the right size to fit a real body, and sometimes even more advanced techniques like color work or lace stitches. I remember the first time I finished a crochet sweater, I stood in front of my mirror for like 10 minutes just staring at it because I genuinely could not believe that a pile of yarn and a single hook turned into something I could actually wear out in public, something that looked like it came from a store. That feeling, that moment when you put on something you made with your own hands and it actually fits and actually looks good, that's the moment that makes every failed coaster, every wonky beanie, and every unraveled scarf completely worth it. And here's the thing about garments. Once you can make one, you can make almost anything. You understand how yarn behaves, how stitches create shape, and how to fix things when they go wrong. Because trust me, things will go wrong, even on garments. That's just part of the process. But by this point, you're not scared of mistakes anymore. You know how to rip out a row and fix it. You know how to read a pattern without getting confused. You've built real, actual skill, one small project at a time. So let's bring this all together. We started small with a coaster to learn the basics. We moved to a dishcloth to fix our edges. We built confidence with a hat and learned patience with a scarf. We opened up endless possibilities with a granny square and turned that into a full-sized blanket that taught us commitment. We explored pure creativity with amigurumi, and finally, we reached the peak, a full garment that ties every single skill together into one wearable piece of art. This path isn't just a random list of projects, it's a proven way to build real skill without burning out or getting so frustrated that you throw your yarn in a drawer and never touch it again. Every single project on this list serves a purpose, and every single one prepares you for the next. So, if you're just starting out, don't skip ahead. I know it's tempting to jump straight to that beautiful sweater you saw online, but trust me, walk through these steps first. Your future self, the one wearing a handmade garment that fits perfectly and looks amazing, will thank you for it. If this helped you figure out where to start or where to go next in your crochet journey, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video where I break down exactly how to fix the most common crochet mistakes beginners make.